Running for 16 miles through Chicago's south and southwest suburbs, the Calumet Sag Channel played a critical role in the development of its surrounding area and still provides functional purpose for industrial and recreational activity. The Cal Sag Channel was dug by what was then the Metropolitan Sewage District of Chicago between 1911 and 1922 to connect the Sanitary and Ship Canal with the Calumet region along the Illinois-Indiana border. The channel's source is the Little Calumet River in Calumet Park, from which it flows west 16 miles to the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal near Lamont. The channel altered the flow from the Calumet River system and helped divert raw sewage and industrial waste away from Lake Michigan and towards the Illinois River. With an average width of 480 feet, an average depth of nearly 9 feet, and a maximum depth of 20 feet 5 inches, the channel provides a water pathway for barge traffic and is an important industrial waterway. Development along the canal is primarily industrialized along its east end and recreational in the southwest suburbs. The western 4.5 miles flows through a large area of public land operated by the Forest Preserve District of Cook County. The canal's official name, the Calumet Sag Channel, comes from the Calumet River system where it originates and what indigenous tribes called the Great Saganashkee, a marshy lowland that ran through much of what is today the Palos area. A calumet is an Illinois pipe used as a universal sign of peace, and a Saganashkee is an Indian word that means tall grass valley, according to William Bright, author of the Native American Place Names of the United States. At the end of the last glacial period, 2 great torrent valleys, including the Great Saganashkee, were carved by the vast flow of glacial meltwater, according to the Encyclopedia of Chicago. Today, the man-made canal follows the path of the Great Sag. A portion of the Calumet River flows through the eastern part of the valley, as does Stony Creek, which is today a tributary of the channel. The western half of the valley contained the Saganashkee Slough, a huge swamp that reached from the banks of the Des Plaines River in the west as far east as the Calumet River southeast of present-day Blue Island. The slough is today a 325-square-acre forest preserve pond along 107th Avenue between Route 83 and LaGrange Road. The canal's construction led to a boom in development and employment in Worth. To control growth and provide municipal services, the community voted to incorporate in 1914 as the Village of Worth. The name was taken from Worth Township, founded in 1850 and named in honor of Mexican War General William Jenkins Worth. Fort Worth, Texas is also named after General Worth. From its start as a village of 240 people in 1920, Worth's population plateaued at more than 11,000 by 1970. Before human alteration, water in the Calumet system flowed west from LaPorte County, Indiana, before turning back east and ultimately emptying into Lake Michigan in Gary, Indiana. The Cal Sag reversed the flow, meaning that much of what flows into or is dumped into the river eventually finds its way into the channel. The Calumet River became highly industrialized during the 1870s, and pollution from steel mills, foundries, a meatpacking plant, and glue and cornstarch factories had fouled the water within 20 years. The industrialization continued into the 1900s without any government regulations regarding what was dumped into the river. The water is still contaminated today with industrial chemicals from 3 steel factories and a chemical plant, as well as tainted Lake Michigan overflow, sometimes containing debris. These wastes include carcinogens such as PCBs and polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbons, heavy metals such as mercury, cadmium, chromium, and lead, fecal coliform bacteria from untreated sewage, and suspended solids, oil, and grease. Even today, 11 billion gallons of untreated municipal wastewater are discharged into Calumet Harbor and the Calumet River system each year. Contaminants allowed to be discharged into the river include arsenic, cadmium, cyanide, copper, chrome, lead, and mercury. Despite the canal's environmental challenges, the waterway is a popular destination for boating, canoeing, and kayaking, and other recreational activities, including catch-and-release fishing and wildlife observation. However, the waters are unsuitable for swimming, and fish caught there should not be consumed. The canal's ecological health has improved much within just the past 20 years, and a variety of wildlife can be found in and around its waters. Fish include bluegill, largemouth bass, channel catfish, bullhead, carp, and crappie live in the channel, while birds such as egrets and herons prey on the aquatic life. Creatures that can be seen along the canal's banks include deer, coyotes, and water snakes. Development along the canal has also picked up within the past 20 years. Lake Catherine Nature Preserve in Palos Heights was among the first exclusively recreational areas to be built along the waterway. Across the canal in Worth is the Water's Edge Golf Club, which was built by the village and opened in 1999 at Harlem Avenue and 115th Street. The golf course is adjacent to Worth Public Boat Launch and Betty Matera Field, which lie to the west. Other boat launches on the waterway are in Alsip at 127th Street and Laramie Avenue, and at the Calumet and Bubian boating centers. Also in Worth is the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District's Harry Bus Yorl's Side Stream Elevated Pool Aeration Station, one of 5 such facilities along the channel that mix 25 tons of water daily. The station pumps water from the channel into a series of pools and waterfalls that aerate and oxygenate the Cal Sag's waters. The park features bridges and a walking trail, and is a popular hangout for locals on their lunch breaks, as well as wildlife such as seagulls, Canadian geese, and ducks. The waterfalls and greenery also create a picturesque setting for wedding photos and other special events, which can be seen there routinely during the spring and summer. Along with the other 4 SEPA stations, Ural Park helps create the backbone for the yet-to-be-completed Calumet Sag Trail, an undertaking of the Friends of the Calumet Sag Trail, a membership-supported volunteer organization that supports the construction of a multi-use pathway along the banks of the channel and the Calumet River. The concept of a trail along the waterway is not a new one. Planning maps from the 1970s depict intentions for a pathway to be constructed along its banks. The trail, marked for completion in 2014 at a cost of $20 million, will stitch together more than 185,000 people in 14 communities, while connecting them to other trails, transit systems, retail areas, parks, forest preserves, marinas, nature centers, and legacies of big steel, immigrant communities, and even the Underground Railroad. The first Calumet Sag Trail segment opened in October 2008 in Palos Heights. 80% of the land required for the trail has been set aside by the MWRD for trail use, and the preliminary environmental surveys and design engineers have been funded at 80% by federal grants. By federal law, non-federal funds must be used for the remaining 20%. The Calumet Sag Channel, once an exclusively industrial waterway left nearly lifeless by heavy contamination, is recovering and has evolved into a viable habitat for wildlife and a recreational destination for residents of Chicago's south and southwest suburbs. As the canal's ecosystem continues to recover and its banks continue to develop for public use, its value as a recreational waterway may surpass that of its original pragmatic purpose.